needs one. Charl Schwartzel takes the Masters 2011.
I'm a plain guy that like my fillet steaks and potato dish, so I went with the stuff that I liked, and so it was fillet steak, potato dish, I had boerewors. So very South African. That was quite a hit. Was the starters was just the Philadelphia cheese with the sweet chili sauce over it in the biscuits. I mean, we do it often in South Africa. I think it's a pretty common thing. So that was quite a big hit. And but I think the thing that went down the best was the vanilla ice cream with the bar one sauce, and it had to be bar one. So I know Phil Mickelson actually went back for seconds on that. Just to be able to host that dinner is, I mean, it's probably one of the biggest honors you can do in our game. It's such an elite, special evening. I must say, when you're the host and you're sitting at the head of the table, it's quite nerve-wracking. At the end you got to say your speech, and I remember it like yesterday. It's you sort of rehearse this thing in your head, but as I got up, I looked to my left and it was Arnold Palmer, Jack Nicklaus, Tiger Woods. And I looked and I thought to myself, what am I going to say that's going to interest them? And it made me quite nervous, but it was, it's an amazingly special evening. Every year you see it, and especially you see it with new champions that stand up there. It's there's a huge gratitude and appreciation and honor just to be there. So it's very special. Oh, see, the thing is, when you've won that long ago, we've gone through about 14 dinners already for myself. So I do like the ones where the guys come with a good meat. I do like my steaks. So the Texans always come up with some good steaks. I know. I heard back in the day there were some bad ones, but since I've been there, the food's normally good. But I'm most of the time, the last few years, I've been very interested in the wine. See what they good wines. Guys come up, they spend some money on the wine, so it's nice to have some good wine. So the first year I got to play, so 2012, the Sunday before, I got to play with my brother and my dad. That was super special. We played I played the main golf course, and we were there for 2 days, and it was fantastic. Olivia was only born in 2014, so it was a few years before she could come out, and they're now 11 and 5, so they run around, and it's become a great outing for the families and to experience, and I think this year actually I get to play with Gary Player, so that'll be cool too. Yeah, I just had a request. I always used to play with Louis and the kids, and Trevor. So it's myself, Louis, and Trevor Immelman, and then we had our families with us. And I had a request this week. Gary Player wanted to play, and I said, sure, that'll be great. I think kids don't see the fame in it. I really think it's very. Kids just being kids, and I'm just dad. So there's been times like my son doesn't like loud noise. So when I make a putt or he hits a good shot, and the crowd erupts, he gets a fright. So then he cries. It's a bit too much. But it's just sensitive to loud noise. But for them, I think they're just hanging with dad. So. Get this question quite often, and it's one of those that's very difficult to really put into words. It seems like every year that goes by, you realize how special it is. It becomes, it's almost like it's saying the legend grows. You get there and you think, wow, what an honor, what a special place, it's very amazing. And then the very next year you get there and you think, yes, you think it's even better, and it's. I think at first when you win and you come back as defending champion, as you're young, in your 20s, I was in my 20s, and you take it for granted. So you wanna perform, you wanna win again, you wanna, there's this pressure, self-inflicted, and you don't enjoy it as much. And then as the years go on and you mature, I feel like you get that deep appreciation for what it is. And then you talk to peers that's played it and then didn't win and not been able to go back, and how they miss it, and it sort of makes you realize how fortunate and privileged you are to go there every year. And that's one of those very, very special places in our game. I think it's because my strength is iron play, and the golf course is really a second shot golf course. It was built around a very accurate iron shots because of the small plateaus that they put the flags on. So the guys that do really well are extremely good iron players. Off the tee has become very important. They've lengthened it, but I want to say it's not so penalizing off the tee like a Dural. Dural, you miss it, you're in the water. It's a big penalty. There is mostly tree lined, so if you can get away with a bad tee shot and not too penalized. So it gives me freedom off the tee. And then the years I've played well is I've driven it well, and I've given myself those good opportunities to display my iron play. And the greens, everybody talks about how quick the greens are. They are. The more you play it, the more you understand how to putt. It's somebody that goes there for the first time, they really struggle, but there's just so much more break in a normal putt than you can ever imagine. But you, in a way, get used to it. It doesn't get easier, but you get used to playing a certain amount of break and getting used to that speed. So for me, it's I enjoy the freedom of the tee, and then once I get there, I'm very comfortable with iron play. I could never forget 16. 16 to me, that year, the year that I won, it was just that bottom, like 15 greens, 16. That sort of eruption that happened when I made that putt, and it always stands out, But I would say the most beautiful part of it is 12, 13 with the azaleas. But there's something about 16 that will always stand out to me. The year that you win, for the reigning champion gets to keep the jacket outside of premises. You can travel with it. But as soon as there's a new champion, then everybody's jackets get left in they actually just built a brand new locker room just for the jackets. It's bloody amazing how they've done it. So your jacket gets hung under in that room, and when you get there, they put it in your locker, and you get to wear it just that week, but again, just on premises. There's nothing like it. Feeling good about it, to be honest. There's been a lot of good signs for me at the beginning of this year. I've worked hard, I've gotten a lot fitter, lost a lot of kgs, so just feeling good in general. So yeah, we'll see. I'm content. I really am. I went and I played South African Open, and if I did get into the British Open, would have been nice. But the main focus is to get into. I want to play in the Open at St Andrews, so I'll really try to get into that. Would have to go and play tournaments to qualify, and even the qualifying if I have to. But yeah, for the rest I've played in a lot of them, and sort of done my part in them, and I'm very privileged to play Augusta, and we'll keep it at that.